Being a part of the Veve, Ecomi, or just NFT community in general means that we are trailblazing every single day. We're breaking barriers, we're making new discoveries, and we are all learning as we go. What that means is that little to nothing is established in this space, and there is so much that is left for interpretation. So what I'll be talking about today in this video is if first will matter and how they will matter, and how we might see what first means change or shift over time. So Twitter user CryptoLead1980 asked Veve, can you confirm what was the first Disney NFT released by Veve? And then they respond with, the first Disney owned is Spider-Man, first Disney license drop is Homer and Bart, and first Walt Disney animation / canon is Elsa. But to me it sounds like they will all be significant or have value for their own specific reasons. So I think there will be value in the first Disney owned, and there will be value in the first Disney license drop, and there will be value in the first Walt Disney Animation Studios. But will they be as valuable if there was one clear-cut one? Like if Elsa and the Sorcerer's Hat were the first drop from the collection, I think they'd be the clear and away, everyone would fully agree. But since there are some fragments, since there are some broken up camps, I think that it will slightly pull the value from each one of those. But again, I still think these will all be extremely valuable. But this brings up an interesting question, and that is, how much will first matter? What kind of first? You'll see people who are trying to hype up their collectible, trying to sell it, be like, who wants this comic book? It's the first comic to get released in the second week of December while it was also snowing in Maine, and there's 4 superheroes on the cover and they all have a different color shirt on. Like, some people are trying to hype it up like that. I'm not talking about those kind of things, and that will always be around. People will always try to make something special about what they own. But I'm talking about the consensus, community agreed upon first, and the value that comes along with that. Basically, I'm trying to figure out where people will draw the line as to what first are important or what first are agreed upon and what first are just BS, made up stuff. But there is one specific scenario that I'm very curious to see how it's going to play out, and I would love to hear your guys' comments, insight, drop them down below. But basically, I'm wondering, how much will the first appearance in comic book form matter as opposed to collectible form? So here's an example, right? House of X. In real life, it is a normal, everyday, not valuable comic book. But on Veve, in NFT form, it's the first time that the X-Men have appeared as an NFT, collectible or comic book. But on Veve, they don't give first appearance tags to comics. Currently, the House of X Secret Rare has every X-Men on it for the first appearance in NFT form, but the price does not reflect that, and people don't really talk about it like that. As far as I've seen, it's not widespread at least. So a comic like that, right? In real life, it's not the first appearance. In NFT form, it is their first appearance. So which one will people want? Since it's not popular in real life, will that tank the value of this one? Or will people start to adapt and change as to they want the first NFT form of stuff and it'll take off eventually? These are questions that I'm not sure how they'll play out, but I'm very curious and I would love to know. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts too. If you guys are enjoying the content, I would really appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe. Anything would really help my channel grow, get this video and get this info to more people. Really appreciate it. And the Gale, who is an awesome Veve and Ecomi content creator, one of the first ones to do it, for sure go check him out. Big shout out to the Gale. But he brings up a good question, and he says, I think this will be the most interesting case of first appearance on Veve. Assuming neither gets added utility, do you think people will respect the FA tag? Just how important is a first appearance anyway? Does it really matter? I would argue that it definitely does matter, and we've been seeing that as we value these collectibles and people really go after the first appearance. And you know, Steamboat Willie, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty confident that if it had a first appearance tag on it, it would be selling for a lot more than it is, especially considering that at the time of recording, it has taken a slight decline in price. But I think for most cases, the FA tag will be the distinguisher to determine what was the first, and in most cases it won't even be an issue. The debate is only relevant for a few collectibles, mainly for comics, and then a few collectibles such as Steve Rogers like we've just seen. Since the Marvel Mighty is so different than anything that we know Captain America as today, will that hurt its value, or will that lead to people not respecting it? I have a theory or a prediction that with how much weight and how many first appearances Marvel and Veve are giving to the Marvel Mighties, that they have something special in store. This is just speculation. Don't go buying every Marvel Mighty because I said that. I think they know the value and the significance of what FA means, and I think they wouldn't do that just for a Marvel Mighty for no reason. But regardless, these are interesting questions, and I think that we will continue to see a debate in the community for as long as VV is a thing. But what I'm banking on and what I think are the safest bets are still going with first appearance, still going with first edition, and going with collectibles that have a huge brand behind them. Because if these things dump, if the NFT or VV market crashes, it will be the IP that will sustain value the best, especially because these companies can add utility to the NFTs, even if it's down the line, even if Marvel Mighties die out, they're not being used a lot. If they add utility later on, that could kickstart it and get them traded and popular again. So I'm always looking for collectibles that have that backing as my long-term holds. So overall, I would say that yes, first definitely do matter, but I think that we need to be careful about what we consider first currently and about putting a bunch of weight or a bunch of investment in things that are first right now, because things could change, consensus could change, and people could end up wanting the first, digital, premium digital Captain America as opposed to the Marvel Mighty, especially if the Marvel Mighties don't do anything cool. So I would say if you're really worried about it, just go for the solidified ones, such as like Superman. No one is questioning what is the first appearance of Superman on Veve. That is clear cut. Or like Todd, Risso, part of the first ever set. Things like that are concrete, no one can ever take away. I think those will be the safest bets. But when you start getting into the kind of muddy waters, such as, oh, it's the first Disney owned company NFT, then I think there you start to lose people. Your argument becomes a lot weaker at that point. And not everyone will be on board at valuing the collectible as highly as you do if you have that mindset. But keep in mind that at the end of the day, it is the community, it is the collectors that determine what's valuable and what's not. Because none of these NFTs, none of these collectibles, and most collectibles in real life for that matter, have no inherent value. It is just the value that we put on it in our minds. If you guys are interested, I'm going to start being a lot more active on Instagram. I'm going to start posting a lot more AR pictures, giveaways, all that good stuff. So if you're interested, follow my Instagram at NFTFlenny. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. As always, this has been NFT Flenny. I'll catch you guys next time.